Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, Teacher Kamilia here, and today I will be talking about the development of childhood occupation from the age from 2 years old to 5 years old. So let's see the next slides. There are three ranges of ages that are going to be discussed and talked about. That is from the age from 24 months to 36 months, 3 to 4 years old, and 4 years old to 5 years old. Generally, the three types of play that predominate in early childhood includes pretend or symbolic play, constructive play, rough and tumble play, or physical play. Firstly, the child's play become more elaborate, which combines multiple steps and multiple schema. The preschool age orients play toward peers, which means they only want to play around with people around their age or kids around their age because it's more relatable, it's more fun, it's more understandable because they both have the same interests, the same development, and then when preschool age children play with peers, the interaction appears to be as important as activities go. As the child approaches 5 years of age, all play becomes increasingly social, which means they don't really focus only on the peers. They will start interacting with strangers that are from different ages. That includes adults and teens or babies. The play occupations for preschoolers around the age from 24 months old or 2 years old to 36 months old, which is 3 years old. There are four types, which is symbolic play, constructive play, cross-motor play, and social play. So for symbolic play, they like to link multiple schemes of combinations into meaningful sequences of pretend play. And they start to use object for multiple pretend ideas. For example, if you give them teacup set, they will start playing or pretending that they are having high tea with their friends, which is their dolls, their um, teddy bears, and they will start using these objects to pretend that they are in that situation, and then they will start to use toys to represent animals or people. For example, they start holding their bottle and say, "Oh, this is Mama. This is Papa," and they would start make them interacting, and then they would start to play house, assigning roles to other and taking on specific roles. So this would which would start them for playing. I would say, if you're familiar, we will play kawin kawin or mak mak. So girls would want to be a mother or a baby, and they will start assigning other kids who are males to be the husband or the son. And for constructive play, they would start to participate in drawing and puzzles, and they would start imitate adults using toys. And then, for example, if they see their parents or mothers cleaning the floor with mops, they will start taking any sticks and mop the floor as if that's a mop, just like what the mother did. And for gross motor play, they will start uh, to like jumping, rough and tumble play, which means pushing each other, or um, climbing high swords, and then they would start to make mess. All the toys throw away in order to make mess, and then social play is associative parallel play predominates. So at the age they will start having associative means they will start wanting to associate or interact with other peers or other adults, and then parallel play means they would play alongside other peers but not really interacting, but it will start to dominate once they get a little bit older. These are the performance skills for preschoolers ages from 24 months old to 36 months old. There are five types, which are regulatory or sensory organization, fine motor manipulation, social play, gross motor or mobility, and cognitive. For regulatory or sensory organization, they will start to handle fragile items carefully. So, for example, if you have ever seen a video of parents giving their toddlers or preschoolers an egg to hold, and they will start holding it like it's their life. It's so funny. If you have ever seen that video, they would start holding the egg carefully and scared that it would ever drop and break. And then they would start enjoying interesting tactile surfaces. Tactile means touch. So they would start enjoying different textures such as grass, sand. If your child isn't used to that, you can start introducing them now so they would get used to it. And then they will start playing with water and sand. And if you have seen videos of mixing flour and sand, flour and water, and we start creating this texture that is hard and also soft. You can also start using that with your child just to get them used to different textures, and then they will start experiencing difficulty with transitions. So for example, if you want to start sending them to preschools or Tasca, for example, and they will start having transition difficulties in having these different transitions. And then for fine motor manipulation, they will start snipping with scissors. Snipping means cutting very short snips of probably papers or Play-Doh. And then they will start tracing form such as cross and then colors in large forms. So if you want to start giving your child coloring books at this age, it's no problem. It's a good milestone development, and they will start knowing where to color within lines, and then they will start to draw circle accurately. So before this, maybe they will start having this like straggling circle instead of a perfect circle. And now they will start having that skill, and then they will start to build tower and lines up objects. So build tower, if you give them a bunch of Legos, they will start to build or stacking them into buildings. And then line up objects, which means they know, okay, this car here, dolls here, lining up all of them perfectly, and then completing 4 to 5 pieces puzzle. So this is such a great way to start introducing puzzles to your child. Now for the gross motor or mobility, they will start to ride tricycle. They would know how to pedal in front instead of backwards. Catches large ball against chest, so they know that they would have to catch it like this. Jump from step or small height, so they wouldn't have that I would say gayat feeling, scared of heights feeling, and then begins to hop on one foot, so they know how to stabilize themselves before hopping. And then for their cognitive, they will start combining actions into entire play scenario. They would start to show interest in, well, wearing costumes such as Frozen, Anna, Olaf, and then they would start to match shapes according to their accurate shapes, and then they will start playhouse. So as I said earlier, they will start my mama kawin kawin, those sort of stuff. And then for social, they would start to have cooperatively, which they would take turns at times. So they know that if they have played this round and then next person has to play in that round instead of them, so they will know how to take turns. And then show interest in peers and just having companions. They are not having just this playing alone time. They would want to start having friends, and then begins cooperative play and play in small groups. And then they will be start being shy with strangers, especially adults, and then engage in dialogue of a few words. So they would know uh, how to line up the words perfectly to form a sentence. We are moving on to the preschoolers aged 3 to 4 years old play occupations. There are 4 types, which are complex imaginary play, constructive play, rough and tumble play, and also social play. For complex imaginary play, they can start creating scripts for play in which pretend objects have actions that reflect roles in real or imaginary life. So they will start having their dolls to be their daughter and drink milk, for example. And then they would start using complex scripts for pretend sequences, portrays multiple characters with feelings. And for constructive play, they will start creating art product with adult assistance, which means you can start exploring or introducing messy play with paints or coloring and origami, for example, and then they will start working on puzzles and blocks. For rough and tumble play, they will start enjoying physical play, swinging, sliding at playground, jumping, running, climbing up high spots, and start exploring rough and tumble play. That includes accidents lah. They can start falling, having bruises here and there because they are starting to explore uh, this kind of plays. And then for social play, they will start to participate in circle time, games, drawing, and art time at preschool. And they will start engaging in singing and dancing in groups, as well as associative play with other children, sharing their toys, and start to talking about their play goals. These are the performance skills of children aged 3 to 4 years old. That includes four types of things, which are social, fine motor manipulation, gross motor or mobility, and cognitive. So for social, they will start preferring playing with other children, which group play replaces parallel play. So as I said earlier, parallel play is playing alongside other peers without actually interacting, but they will start wanting to have group play instead of playing alongside. Then they will start following turn taking in discourse and is aware of social aspects of conversation, which means they will start taking turns in talking, so they know that they could not interrupt when other person is talking. And they will start show interest in being a friend and prefer same sex playmates. So usually girls would just like to play with girls around the age, so because they know that they have the same interests, and maybe they are a bit more soft and not as harsh as boys would play, because boys would prefer this rough and tumble play. And then for fine motor manipulation, they will start using precision, tripod means three fingers, grasp on pencil or crayon. And then they will start knowing how to color within lines and copy simple shapes, for example square, circle, and then start to begins to copy letters. So they are preparing themselves how to write alphabets, and then uses scissors to cut and then cut simple shapes. And then for gross motor mobility, they will start jumping, climbing, and running. They will start to begin to skip and hop, ride tricycle, knowing how to balance themselves and pedal in front, stand briefly on one foot, again, stabilizing themselves with only one foot, alternate feet walking upstairs. So usually, people or kids, ages from babies to 3 to 4 years old, they will only start climbing the stairs, only using one foot in front instead of alternating. So at this age, they will start alternating these foot, with 2 feet, and then they will start jumping from step with 2 foot. And then for cognitively, they will start using imaginary objects in play, make dolls and actions, figures, carry out roles, and interact with other toys. So they would take two dolls and pretending that they are talking to each other, and then categorizes and sort objects, and also shows a sense of humor. So they will start making jokes or start laughing at jokes, so they would know these are funny things that you have to laugh about. Now we are reaching to the play occupations for toddlers or preschoolers aged 4 to 5 years old. So they already developed three types of play occupations that have been matured from 24 months old up until 4 years old that we discussed earlier. So these include game with rules, constructive play, and social play, which is dramatic play. So for games with rules, they will start beginning group games with simple rules, which means they would start wanting to play games that have rules, and then they engage in organized play with prescribed rules, participate in an organized cruise motor games such as kickball or duck duck goose. So in Malaysia, we usually play police and thief. So we know that the roles of police is to chase the thieves and thieves is to run. So they these kind of simple rules they will start having one or wanting to play and interact in. And then constructive play, which takes pride in products, shows interest in the goal of the art activity, and construct complex structures. So if you start giving them puzzles or Legos, which have just a few um, pieces or bits, they will start knowing how to construct them. And then social play or dramatic play, they will start participate in role play with other children, mak-mak, kawin-kawin, participate in dress up, start to tell stories, probably from the books that they've read or the TV shows that they've watched, and then continues with pretend play that they will start having these imaginary characters and started to engage in interaction with these characters as if they're in a movie or a drama. We are now reaching the performance skills of preschoolers ages 4 to 5 years old, which includes four types, which are social, fine motor manipulation, gross motor or mobility, and cognitive. So for social, they will start enjoy clowning, which means they will start making silly jokes or making silly faces that make people laugh and start singing the whole song. So they know that they will have to sing from the start to the end, and they would start to be more aware that songs have ending and beginning, and then role playing based on parents' roles. For fine motor manipulations, they will start drawing using dynamic tripod grasp, which means this position you have to hold the pencil with tripod grasp, three fingers, and then copy simple shapes, completes puzzles up to 10 pieces, and then color within the lines. They will not color outside the lines, and then uses two hands together to stabilize paper when cutting or object and other manipulating object. So for gross motor or mobility, they will start jumping from high places and then start throwing balls with the correct motion and force, which means they know that they will have to throw it like this instead of dropping them. And then hops for long sequences, which are 4 to 6 steps away, climbs on playgrounds, swing, start to explore slides or any tunnels that they want to crawl in, and throws ball and hits target. So they know that they would have to throw balls inside the basket or at the target. And then cognitive, they will start to understand rules of more complex games, and I remember rules with a few reminders. We still have to remember, but they know that this game have rules that they have to follow. And then making up stories that involve role playing with other children, participate in planning a play activity, and begins abstract problem solving. Thank you for watching, parents. Bye bye and assalamualaikum.